I've tried recording this video so many times already, and gosh, this is maybe my fourth take now, and I hope this is the one. Life is full of changes, obviously. Things change from wherein you're just a kid to a teenager, and then a young adult and adult. And I've always been told that my 20s was a time of growth and change, and a time to learn and explore who I am and who I'll be. And I think I've finally entered the stage of that glorious evolution, and it's honestly caused such an inner battle within me, and I'm sure I'm not alone with this experience, so let's talk about it. For a while now, I've been stuck in this push and pull of acceptance and denial as I've slowly seen small changes in my life grow into big changes that can no longer be ignored or repressed. And for a long time I just thought, oh, I'm just tired, I'm exhausted, life has been crazy, and I just need to rest. Which, yes, I do need to rest, and I am constantly exhausted and deal with some sort of fatigue all the time. But there also has been something else that has been steadily growing behind the scenes. It started small at first. I just lost enjoyment of things that I used to love and felt motivated by, or I just started doing things completely different out of nowhere. I started craving different things that I never even used to think about. This circle that I'm used to staying in and used to the comfort with the familiarity of just simply started morphing into this other organic shape, creating these new corners for me to discover and new parts of me to explore, or perhaps parts that were just dormant before. And that's when I've realized that I've grown into a completely different person than I thought I was, or at least used to be. And for a while, I was still in denial. I still see myself as a teen version of myself from over 5 years ago. And that's still how a lot of people who view me in my life as well, who met me during that time, and again, they still view me as that. And there's a comfort in staying in that set square. I became familiar with those four corners, and that's simply who I am. Or I guess I was. Anxiety was my label, and anxiety was just me. I was the girl who was always too tired to do anything, who always stayed home, who never said yes to anything. Any change in my routine felt like an immeasurable blow to my energy reserves and led me to further close in into myself. I developed habits that kept me afloat during that time. Strict habits, rules, a code of conduct of some sorts. After all, there is comfort in clear order and knowing what to expect. Obviously, it turned into this lifeline for me. Like bullet journaling. It was a perfect place to release some creative energy, but also to make a to-do list of my life that my life completely depended on. It was also a way to make my art into this productive thing, because why do something if it isn't productive or practical? I needed to stick to this strict minimalistic and yet maximized and productive schedule. I had no time and no energy to waste on impractical or non-productive things. And that just stuck for a very long time. And it's still with me today. Different, but the same. Once again, that push and pull of acceptance and denial, acceptance that it's okay to do things just because and to enjoy them for what they are, versus the denial that causes guilt about needing to be productive and maximize my time and my energy and not allow myself anything else. Hell, it's tiring to constantly be judging myself and be my very own fun police. But honestly, I forgive myself. I was doing what I needed to survive through all those new uncertainties that were thrown at me, all on my own. Knowing now that I may have, some type of chronic exhaustion or whatever, and also starting to acknowledge and validate my chronic pain and list of many other issues that, may or may not be real. I don't know yet. It helps me forgive my past self for being so uptight, scared, and tired. These habits and mindsets I created and developed were fueled by the anxiety and my exhaustion and, toxic relationships at the time, and I know that now. Though my inner productive, practical maximizer self will still need a lot of time to break that habit, and still struggling with bouts of anxiety doesn't help, nor my still present exhaustion. But I am aware of who I was, and I've taken a step back to see who that was and whom I'm now aiming to become. And I've started to be excited at the prospect of being someone new, someone who isn't primarily associated with anxiety or hyperproductiveness, someone new, someone who, in a way, is free. My mentality and mindset already has shifted a lot, and in a way, I've taken my own advice that I often say to others. Keep what serves you and just leave the rest. What used to work or was good for me back then 5 or 6 years ago simply has changed, and I've grown and experienced so many things since then. Fundamentally, some things will never change. I am still a homebody, and that's okay. I'm an introvert. I still have a lot of fatigue, but I'm learning to work with it. And at my core, I'm still a bookworm. I still love doing art and creating things. I still love nature and animals, and I still love gentle rays of sunshine in the morning birds. I still love chocolate, and I still love to cook. Fundamentally, I am still me. That hasn't changed, and I want to stay true to that. I want to be my authentic self without judgment by others or by my own self, most importantly. So I will keep these things and elements of myself close and leave behind the negative associations, habits, and mindsets that simply aren't helpful anymore. I've been applying this without realizing, and that's why I felt so like I've been battling everything in my life. I'm simply outgrowing many aspects. Things like consistency in my bullet journal that used to be a lifeline simply isn't anymore. Things I used to be so uptight about aren't that big of a deal either. I just recently celebrated my 22nd birthday, so this felt a little bit fitting to kind of do a reflection of my early 20s and how that shift has greatly impacted me in the past couple of years, and of course, world events and all, like COVID and graduating high school and entering university, finishing university at 21 and not knowing what my next path is and just reassessing everything that is in my life. And I felt like my mind was simply just so chaotic before my birthday, and then I just let time pass, and now it's been over a week and I already feel a lot more confident and settled, and I know who I am and who I want to be, and that really has started being my guiding light, and I'm really grateful. But yeah, finishing university at 21 and then deciding actually I want to do another diploma, and thankfully having the support by my family to be able to do so, but then realizing like, oh my gosh, I'm choosing like an entirely different career path and I don't know where I'm going, and then I don't know what I'm doing, and then I want to travel, but like, do I have the money to do so, and what am I doing with my life, and just, all of the questions and the uncertainties of we're supposed to have our life figured out according to our capitalist society, and yet we don't know what we're doing. How are we supposed to choose what we want to do for the rest of our lives at such a young part of it? Like, we're maybe not even 1/5 through our life yet, and yet we have to choose exactly what we want to do for the next 80 years? I don't think so. But yeah, as I said in the beginning, I'm sure I'm not alone, and feel free to share your thoughts in the comments, and I really hope you enjoyed this quick little chat we had together today, and I hope you also were able to relate. It can be really lonely, scary, and seemingly endless, but we aren't alone in all of this. So remember to take care of yourself, have a drink of water, have a meal, you deserve it, and just breathe. You got this. I'll see you guys all very, very soon. Bye, guys.